Hi, I'm Jay, and today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a Pullman loaf. A Pullman loaf, or Pain De Mie, or as you probably know it, sandwich bread, is what you can find in supermarkets. And the handy thing about it is that it's square and it fits into our toasters and all that kind of stuff. It's actually made in a pan like this, which is called a Pullman Loaf Pan, because it does give you a square loaf and it does come with a lid. Now I bought this one online and I'll put that link below in the comments section for you. But we're going to actually make this bread that's really quick, really easy to put together because it's such a versatile loaf and you will definitely never want to buy bread from the store again. Let's have a look at these ingredients. To make one 13-inch Pullman loaf or two 7-inch Pullman loaves, you're going to need 1.5 cups of warmed milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, an egg, 2¼ teaspoons of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and 4 cups of flour. With those simple ingredients, let's put this together. Throw this together, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to microwave your milk for about 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a little longer. You want it to reach about 110 Fahrenheit, but not much warmer than that because you don't want to kill the yeast. And then you're going to throw in your sugar and your yeast, give it a good stir, and just leave it to bloom for a couple of moments. And while that's blooming, you're going to go over to your mixer, and I already have my flour in my mixer. I'm throwing in my salt, and we're going to give that a quick mix before we start adding in our other ingredients. And when that's been mixing for just a moment or two, we're going to throw in our egg. Let that start mixing, and then we're going to add in our yeast mixture as well. And you may find that you have to scrape down the sides every now and then just until this is all incorporated together. As you see it starting to come together, you're going to add in your butter, about 1 tablespoon's worth at a time, and 4 tablespoons is ready about 1/4 cup, and just keep it kneading for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And once our dough is smooth and elastic, we can move it across to a greased bowl. And I'm just using regular oil here. And our dough is nice and elastic and quite smooth. And now we're going to cover that with plastic and a tea towel and leave it to rise until it's doubled in size, so at least 45 minutes up to 1.5 hours. Now our dough has risen rather nicely in the last little hour and a bit, and we're going to put it into our Pullman pan. But first what we're going to do, we're very quickly going to remove the lid from our pan, and we're going to grease the inside of that very well. And I'm just using butter to grease mine because it'll add to the flavor. But you want to make sure that you get into all those little corners and nooks and crannies, and all the way up the sides as well. And make sure too that you're doing the underside of the lid. And we're just going to flour our surface very slightly and take our dough out. And it doesn't need a ton of kneading. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you are making your loaf to like a loaf shape, but a little longer than your pan. Nice and even like that. And then we're going to pop it in. The ends are going to sort of squish in like that. And now we're going to cover it again with plastic and a tea towel. And you're going to let that rise until it's about a ½ inch from the top of the pan. And then you're going to pop your lid on, make sure that it's closed completely, and put it into a 380-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 45 to 50 minutes for a 13-inch loaf. Or if you're doing 2 7-inches, it's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes. Well, once again, the bread makes the house smell just amazing. I really do love this loaf. It comes out really nice and firm. It's, you know, got a good sound to it, but it's still soft and pliable. And I love how it slices nice and clean with slightly crumbly texture, but still very, very soft. So let's give this a try. That is definitely the perfect sandwich bread. It will toast beautifully. It's not an overwhelming taste, but you can still taste a little bit of that richness. Definitely taste that there's milk in there. I'm definitely a fan of this bread, and I do like the nice neat way it is, and it fits perfectly into a toaster. It's really great and a completely square loaf, easy to store. And if you can't get bags from your grocery store, you can always ask at the bakery. I just wrap mine with regular plastic wrap and slice off as I need and just keep sealing it up. And it's a great bread. If you try this recipe, I'd love to know how it turned out for you. Remember too that if you want to buy a Pullman pan, I'll put an Amazon link down in the comment section below. But remember too, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. Remember too that you can follow me on my social media, both my Facebook and my Instagram, and those links too are below in the comment section. If you would like to financially support this channel, remember that you can do so via Patreon. And patrons on my Patreon receive these recipes in their inbox every time a video drops. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy eating.